you being condescending. Just be warned, alright? Let's move forward amicably.
Okay, well, check this out. First of all, you throwing too many big words at me. Okay, now, because I don't understand them, I'm going to take them as disrespect. Watch your mouth and help me with the say.
Okay, see, now you found yourself a nigga. You looking for a nigga? Nigga here now, see?
My mind is so spectacular. Open up your aperture. You don't like the light that I be shining, bitch, you Dracula. Southern draw vernacular. Flip you like a spatula. Knew that I was built to put this word up on my scapula. I've been on this road so long, my tires ball. I don't wanna text and no, I don't wanna call. Came in this shit running, bitch, I don't know how to crawl. We ain't never folding, I'm holding the highest card. Look, okay, grew up running post routes. Now I'm on the cash route. Better call the plumber, that boy spitting like a bass spout. All these bad women in this club, fuck is you mad about? Word to all my estheticians, boy, I'm about to lash out. Straight from St. John's to the east side. Jigging since knee high. Watch the way I put on for my state, nigga, yeehaw. Respecting no everything. Crazy how I made it to the league from the bleach eyes. Boy, my shit hair on. Black, rich, and bare arms. Smoking on that yogi, this shit stronger than some bare arms. Goku, I'm in rare form. You cannot prepare for him. When I swing, it's like a carnival. This shit ain't fair for him. Brought intellect back to this rap shit. You niggas need chapstick. Shit been dry for way too long, and I'm the match shit. You niggas Nickelodeon me. I'm more like Cap Nick. Cap a nigga, throw him in front of me. Party favors on the table, you can pick and choose. I would be lying if I said it, I don't get confused. I'm just a player in the game and I don't pick the rules. Why trouble always seem to find the ones with shit to lose. About to blow like we just lit the fuse. We double dutch into this dough, I get this shit in twos. Push the button, get it started, put that shit in cruise. A little dust up on his heart, I barely get to use. A fool flatters himself, a wise man flatters the fool. Man, I just came to get it started like mechanics with tools. Cause in my hood, if you don't pack a tool, you planning to lose. These young boys deserve Oscars, they be acting a fool. A couple loose screws, but they hammer accurate. Ooh, I know some niggas stuck on drugs and manufacture it too. School of hard knocks, we all got our bachelor's, fool. No cap and gowns, but we all had to master. Party favors on the table, you can pick and choose. I would be lying if I said it, I don't get confused. I'm just a player in the game and I don't pick the rules. Why trouble always seem to find the ones with shit to lose. I'm dumb lit, it's about to be a late night. Fresh rack, shawty, show me what it tastes like. Niggas know me in my city like I'm Wayne Wright. Got them looking up to me and we the same height. Ooh, I got it bad, deep in my bag. Foot on the gas, they cannot last. Swimming with the sharks, bitch, that's a great white. Never stopping, we don't even need no break light. Say she don't smoke, but she always smoke with me, yeah. Backwards in the air, back up in the ovaries, yeah. All my ops, they stay running like they over easy. Even my masseuse can't just get too close to me, yeah. Shout out to Next. Soon as the ink dry, we count out the checks, yeah. I never flex. I bought up a business, you bought up a section. I'm at the top of my class, yeah. Y'all never learned from your lessons. Skywalker gave me the force, yeah. Turn this into an obsession, yeah. I couldn't wait on the team, cooking shit up with just me rolling flag, yeah. Things never are what they seem, but we know the facts, yeah. Charging that shit to the game, but now I pull up with a battery pack, yeah. The bigger they are, the harder they fall, and we can just leave it at that. I'm dumb lit, it's about to be a late night. Fresh rack, shawty, show me what it tastes like. Niggas know me in my city like I'm Wayne Wright. Got them looking up to me and we the same height. Ooh, I got it bad, deep in my bag. Foot on the gas, they cannot last. Swimming with the sharks, bitch, that's a great white. Never stopped and we don't even need no brake lights. Big bro, why they call you big bro? Every time we hit the bank, we deposit zip codes. Well connected with the streets like we out in Skid Row.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull Up Show. I'm your host, Mr. BJ Matthews, aka B. Just before we get started, follow us on the YouTube page, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Like, share, subscribe. All of our YouTube videos, hit that like button. Y'all come in here, hit that like button. Cash App, $ Slick Rick 1991 Son. If you guys want to donate to the Pull Up Basketball Podcast, hit our Cash App, $ Slick Rick 1991 Son. Also, you guys do not have Cash App, you can also do super stickers and super comments that are available. Very, very simple. All you guys got to do is go right to that chat box on the right-hand side. At the bottom right-hand corner, you guys can make sure you guys hit that dollar sign symbol, and you guys can donate that way for a super chat as the live is going on, or when the live and video is actually concluded. This is always to support the Pull Up Basketball Podcast and what we do and give y'all the fire content on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. But let's get it popping. All right, so back with another one. Right now, we're continuously doing this Kobe Bryant series. Hope that y'all have been enjoying the videos I've been putting out. Is 8 o'clock in the morning right now. I'm just putting this video out before I get some stuff done today. You know what I'm saying, for the Clipper stuff. Got some interviews coming for y'all, so make sure y'all stay tuned for that. But I wanted to put out the content continuously, go with it, man. And I want to talk to y'all a little bit about the situation right now with Kobe Bryant. And personally, want to talk to y'all about this subject about Kobe Bryant not being in this GOAT debate. But I want to switch it up a little bit. I want to hear out different people, and I want to hear out different reasons why not only is Kobe Bryant not in the top 5 or in the GOAT debate, but why is he not even in the top 10, barely scratching the top 10? Because like I said, I like to hear people's perspectives. I don't like just to say why I feel this, why I feel that. I'd rather hear it from the source and from other people as well on why they feel the way they feel, because this is a debate. This is a counter 1-2. This is reaction, instant reaction. You know what I'm saying? Action reaction. So I want to play a quick video of our last live that we just did this past Sunday. If you guys do not know, we do lives on Sundays mornings with my co-host Rick, and we got into it the first video of the week, speaking about the Kobe Bryant GOAT debate series. So I want y'all to hear a good friend of the show, one of my guys, man. And this ain't no disrespect to him. I just want to put things in perspective. But I want him to kind of share why he doesn't have Kobe Bryant not only in his GOAT debate, but barely scratching outside the top 10. It's about a 2.5-minute clip. So y'all sit back and relax. All right, here we
go. Player of the Year, MVP, and a championship and a Finals MVP in the same year. I don't even think people understand that's a crazy ass stat line right there. Kobe Bryant has never done that. But if you want to say longevity, then give it to Kobe Bryant, of course, right? Because the King was dominant, but he wasn't like as dominant as Kobe Bryant throughout the years. But I don't think he needed to.
Hold on. Okay, I don't mean to stop you right quick. So yeah. I just got a question. I just want to put things in perspective. You don't have them in your top 5. So you got Magic, Kareem, Jordan, LeBron, and you said Bill Russell.
But I think I'm gonna put Larry Bird. I'm thinking I'm gonna put Larry Bird in my top 5. I think I'm gonna put Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Bill Russell, Magic Johnson, and Michael Jordan. What did I say that right?
Okay.
No, hold on.
So you said Larry Bird, Jordan,
Magic,
Kareem, and LeBron. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, not LeBron. No, not LeBron. I think I said Larry Bird.
So you got Larry Bird over LeBron?
I think so.
You think so?
I think I'm gonna have Larry Bird over LeBron. That's just me.
Okay, and you got LeBron over Kobe. So where do you have Kobe ranked?
That's a hard question for me, because I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I got Kobe like either 10. Because I can name if you want me to name my whole top 10, because I think Tim Duncan's better than Kobe too. That's just me personally. 5-time champ, 2-time. I think he's a 3-time Finals MVP. I think they both won 1 MVP in their careers. I just think Tim
Duncan won 2. He won 2.
He's a 2-time MVP. I think Tim Duncan's better than Kobe Bryant, but it's not by much. But I think he's a better overall player, right. Defensively, offensively.
So let's count this out real quick. I'm gonna go to Mad Max after. MJ, Kareem, LeBron, Tim Duncan, Larry Bird, Bill Russell. That's 6. So who else do you got in front of Kobe?
Okay, I said Shaq. So that's 7.
So Shaq had a better career than Kobe?
I don't. Because
you said longevity, give it to Kobe.
Well, yeah, but it's like I do give it to Kobe longevity, but it's like I think Shaq is just a better player than Kobe. It's kind of weird. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, I guess you could say he had a better career, but who's the better player? I think Shaq's just the better player than Kobe, like pound for pound, if that makes any sense. I'm just gonna say I got Shaq over Kobe. Just know that. That's a really good point. Maybe I forgot about Wilt Chamberlain, so I guess he has to be in there. Did you say Akeem the Dream already?
Yeah, I said Akeem.
So that's 9. You did. So I got 2 more players.
Yeah.
Well, Kobe's in the top 10. He's in my top 10. So that's the one. I'm missing one more player, I guess. I think.
All right, y'all. So shout out to my man Kirk for and shout out to everybody on this panel. Again, if you guys have not already, make sure y'all smash that like button. But shout out to my man Kirk for his explanation of, where he placed Kobe Bryant all-time ranking list. And, like I said, if you guys have not saw that video, that live, it was just done on Sunday. It's about 3 hours and almost 4 hours. So definitely always love, my people coming in who agree and disagree. But I want to just go into, people's reasons why they don't have this man on the top, GOAT debate, but not even in the top 10. And I've already, put in perspective, some of the guys like I have over, Kobe has over a case over Shaq and Tim Duncan and Magic. Those 3 guys I have ranked over Kobe Bryant. I have Kobe Bryant ranked over. And I don't think that is presumably something where it's close, but it's not close. When you really look at everything in totality, when you just don't look at one category, when you look at everything in totality, the championships, the tenure, the dominance, the competition, the skill set, the level of the player, the accolades, the stats, when you look at everything in a totality, I got Kobe Bryant over, all 3 of those guys. I got Kobe Bryant in my top 3. And I hope that y'all seeing, and actually understanding why I got this guy over these players. I got, a few more videos to drop for Kobe Bryant week, but this is a, one that we're going to have, a discussion with people who don't have him in their top 5 or top 10. So let me go ahead and get started, man. And before I get started, you guys know the drill, what I'm about to do. All right. So that is my peaceful music right here. I hope that you guys do not mind. If you guys do, too bad. I'm just kidding. But that was my man Kirk, and he had Kobe Bryant not just out his top 5, but before he made his list, outside of his top 10. And that's where we've been going at, and I've been seeing really ever since Kobe Bryant retired, right? They have this man outside, not just their top 5, but creeping out their top 10. And when you list the players that they have in front of him, many of the guys were either not even in the conversation while he was playing, or they're players that you didn't really get a chance to really watch. And here's another point I want to put out here too. As y'all come here, smash that like button. I try my best not to rank players I don't really have much of a understanding about, and who played in an era where, it wasn't considered the modern day era. So basically, modern day era is, the 1980s and beyond. So when you look at Bill Russell, when you look at Wilt Chamberlain, you respect them as pioneers of the game. You respect them for the way they paved the way. But because the NBA was so different, because the times were so different, because you had certain, years where there was like a flummox of, 4 to 8 teams, it's hard to really grade on an even playing scale. Like, you can go through different decades and, nitpick little things. Okay, they didn't have the 3-point line here, or they had the illegal defense, they had the hand checking, the scoring wasn't as high. Like, you can at least work with that. But when you talk about the 60s and you talk about that time where there was a extreme drought of NBA teams, when you factor in just the times that they were in, not just in basketball, but, outside of basketball, it becomes more of a category for those two. I'm talking about Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell, when I just put them in their own category. You notice I don't even put them in my top 10 because they were just too much of a different time. And then when you talk about the era they played in, it's hard just to put them in that category. It's almost disingenuous in my personal opinion, because you didn't really get a chance to really see what you can watch film, you can look at statistics and stuff like that. But again, the context, you got to go back to always the context of things. And I just think there's just too many there's just too many things that you have to really look at when it's just not the same. So I just prefer not to put them in my top 10 list of all time. I just say there were the two pioneers that started this up. But that's beside the point. Let me get into what was really going on. Kobe has now been not just X out the top 5, but the top 10. Right? You have Bleacher Report, you had ESPN, I think Sports Illustrated, if I'm not mistaken. Either they had him at the tail end of their top 10 or not even in their top 10. I saw him, Kobe Bryant, at number 12, behind Oscar Robertson. Oscar Robertson, the big O who won 1 championship, who is considered the Russell Westbrook of this era, the triple-double king. They had Kobe Bryant behind him. No disrespect to Oscar Robertson, but Kobe Bryant should not be behind Oscar Robertson any list. Any list. And that's where you look at it and say it's a personal thing, and they're just trying to plug people in and players in to push Kobe out. And it's for good reason. Kobe was not liked by the media. And I keep telling people this over and over and over, and I'm gonna prove it in this video. He was not liked by the media, and that goes into these rankings and how they rate these players. It does. When you call ESPN a bunch of idiots because they had you ranked somewhere in the top 80 in an NBA season, and they want to bring up field goal percentage shooting, and you've been having to deal with ESPN for a number of years, there is a toxic relationship between the two, right? So it's for good reason why they don't like Kobe Bryant. Just like he rubbed ESPN the wrong way, he rubbed his teammates the wrong way, he rubbed his opponents the wrong way. He didn't care about being like, he wanted to destroy you. But I came across an interesting little article, and it talked about the 5 reasons why Kobe Bryant was not liked, or Kobe Bryant cannot be in this, not only the top 5, but the top 10. Like my man Kirk said, he barely has Kobe Bryant in his top 10. So I said to myself, okay, I'm going to take a look on what this is about. So I'm going to go through a few of the reasons why they had this man outside the top 10. This is one that I actually kind of never really seen before, but they named it as a reason why he can't be in the top 10. It's just basically nitpicking, okay? Let's do that. They said Bryant's career field goal percentage shooting is why he's outside the top 10, behind guys like Jordan, guys like LeBron, guys like, X, Y, and Z. Centers, Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, players like that, right? This is why he can't be in the top 10. So, field goal percentage shoot is obviously what you shoot from the field, from the 2-pointer, 3-pointer, all that stuff, right? So if you look at that, Kobe Bryant's field goal percentage shooting was 44.7% from the field, and this is just the number that people go with when they try to take Kobe Bryant out of this conversation. Now, again, context, and I brought this up in a previous video a couple of days ago. Kobe Bryant played in the toughest era defensively within the last, since 1980s. Again, the modern day era. The defensive rating at the time was at 105.3, meaning teams were stopping teams from scoring. This is the highlight number is the rating that the defense had in that decade. You have to factor in the 2000s what was going on. You were able to have hand checking for a certain period of time. You were able to have illegal defense. You were able to pack the paint. The spacing was not as good. The pace was slower. It was more of a half-court game, a rugged game. That's why you saw the scores ending like with 74, 75 points. The defensive rating and then the points per game was the lowest out of any of the decades. Y'all see at the bottom at number 6. teams were scoring an average of 96 points per game. Right? Lower than any other decade of that time. With that, which that generally means is two questions. Was it the defense that good or was the offense that bad? Well, when you look at Kobe Bryant shooting 44.7% from the field, you got to look at the time he was playing in. And again, this goes back to, again, what I always talk about. You got to look at when he was acting with the restraints that are against him. So some of his contemporaries, like Allen Iverson, who shot 42% from the field, great player. Some of the guys at his position, Allen Iverson was, behind Kobe Bryant. You got Tracy McGrady at 43.5% from the field, who was more talented than Kobe. And actually, he could do everything Kobe Bryant could do on the offensive end, but he was 2-3 inches taller. That's what Kobe said, not me. He shot 43% from the field. Paul Pierce shot 44.5% from the field. Right? Great wing player, the truth. Vince Carter shot 43.5% from the field. So these are the top shooting guards in the league at the time. You can consider Paul Pierce a small forward too. But these are the top shooting guards in the NBA in the 2000s, which is arguably the greatest shooting guard era since the 1970s. Actually, I will say the 2000s had the best shooting guards of all time. I would say that. They had the best shooting guards. Best scorers. So, Kobe, a guy who's so inefficient, shot 44% from the field. And again, I don't really recall this being used for anybody else. I don't recall this being used by anybody else. If you look through the top 10 list, yes, majority of the players had a higher field goal percentage than Kobe. But it ain't about much, especially when you look at the true shooting percentage, which is field goals from the 2, 3, and the free throw line. As y'all come near, smash that like button. I'm going to highlight this for y'all. He shot 55% as a true shooting percentage. So, which is pretty damn good, especially at that time when the defenses were being the way they were. He shot 2.4% average from 1996 to 2013. 2.4 above average. So he's so inefficient. Well, what it was the era that he played in, he was actually very efficient. Shout out to my man who is Hendo, man, for a banger he did yesterday. I posted it in my community section. He did a video yesterday, which I won't even call a video, I'll call a diss track. This dude threw some shit out there that I forgot to even put in my videos. I called the diss track Hoya, like Georgetown Hoyas, as in Hendo's on y'all ass. That's why I named the diss track, because that dude went all the way in. Hey, I'm gonna have to use a couple of his points probably down the line, but I have to give my man credit, man. There's like I said, there's certain people you just cannot trick when it comes to this whole discussion. He used this screenshot, which basically says that he shot 2.4 above average true shooting percentage, meaning he was very efficient, meaning if you put Kobe in this era, in this weak era, when there's basically no defense being played in the All-Star game, you're able to score 200 points, damn near. They have the highest points per game in NBA history. If you put Kobe in this era, the dude will be averaging almost close to 40 points. And I'm not even kidding. Especially if you just gave him the ball and just didn't have him in an offense where you had to pass it. So the field goal percentage to me is a nitpick. But if they're going to nitpick, I'm going to nitpick. You got to look at The era he played in, you got to look at, you know, his competitors that were around him. He shot better than all of the people I just named, and he was above average in his era. So I don't know what this whole it's like they're trying to make the point like he was inefficient when he really wasn't. That's the crazy part. He was efficient even with taking bad shots and playing in the toughest era defensively. That's the crazy part. But I digress. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the organization. Now, this one kind of like surprised me because I was a little bit kind of like, okay, what does he mean, the organization? You talking about the Lakers? Somehow he was like the Lakers. It was something where they just played for an organization where he wasn't really having to really do much. Like, what are they trying to say? Well, as I read deeper into it, I kind of picked one point out and I saw this is what I came across. So obviously, I'm looking at this and it says number 1 power forward in the NBA, Pau Gasol. Number 1 center in the NBA, Andrew Bynum. And in parentheses, the Dwight Howard's offensive game is atrocious. Number 2 or number 3 small forward in the NBA, Ron Artest. Most experienced point guard in the NBA, Derek Fisher. Number 1 6th man of the year, Lamar Odom. Number 1 or number 2 bench in the NBA. Greatest NBA coach of all time, and Phil Jackson. Greatest front office, most money to spend, LA Lakers. Okay. So basically what this comes off is like they're saying like the Lakers pretty much made Kobe Bryant, right? That's what they're saying. And again, this is something that I did not really know until I came across this article. It's a good article. Again, I'm just going through points. The main points of why people keep Kobe out of the top 5 and top 10. I just want to hear from the other side, right? I don't want to just have my side. I want to hear from the other side. But they're saying Kobe Bryant had an enormous amount of help. They said Pau Gasol was the number 1 power forward in the NBA. I don't particularly know what they mean. Is that an opinion or a fact? Because I already told you in the 2010s or in the late 2000s and then part of the 2010s, KG, Dirk, Tim Duncan were all better players than Pau Gasol. Pau Gasol went to 1 All-Star game in his tenure with the Memphis Grizzlies. He somehow elevated his game as the best power forward in the NBA for a brief stint, winning championships with yours truly, Kobe Bryant. So that's one. And you got Andrew Bynum, I just said before, he didn't even get 10 years in the NBA. After Andrew Bynum left the Lakers, he went to the 76ers and grew his hair out, and nobody heard from him ever again. Have y'all heard where Andrew Bynum has been lately? Has anybody even heard from Andrew Bynum? Does anybody know where he's even at? And I'm not doing this to disrespect his teammates. But this is, again, an example of elevation of teammates around him that he basically inspired. And they've said he's inspired. Y'all heard Pau Gasol's Hall of Fame speech. I wouldn't be where I am without Kobe Bryant. You heard Paul Pierce say he made Pau Gasol into a Hall of Famer. Meaning, if Pau Gasol does not go to the Los Angeles Lakers, he's probably not winning the championship. He's probably not. Because he couldn't do it nowhere else. He couldn't do it with the Spurs. He couldn't do it with the Bulls. He couldn't do it anywhere else. He couldn't do it anywhere else. He couldn't get out the first round with Memphis. Right? So that's, again, 2 examples right there. Most experienced point guard in the NBA, Derek Fisher. Derek Fisher was a solid guard for that time. You know, he was definitely, he's been with Kobe. Actually, He's his longest teammate. He played with Kobe pretty much his whole entire career. I think he played with Kobe longer than anybody, one of his teammates. So they did have a chemistry. They were drafted together. Yeah, Derek Fisher was a complimentary player to Kobe. Lamar Odom, 6-man. Yeah, complimentary to Kobe. That's what you need around. What you think he's supposed to play by himself? That's something else too. It's starting to believe like they're trying to elevate guys to the point where it feels like Kobe Bryant can't have any comparable teammates. But guys can build super teams and it's no big deal. He wasn't asking for no super team. He was just asking for a complimentary team that complemented his game and that was going to basically, surround him. Derek Fisher was not an all-star. He's not a Hall of Famer. Lamar Odom ain't a Hall of Famer. Their bench, who'd they have? They had Shannon Brown. They had Sasha Vujacic. They had DJ Mabanga. They had, like I said, Lamar Odom coming off the bench. They had, that's who they had on their team. These guys, you guys ain't heard from these guys since. No disrespect. Number 1 or number 2 bench in the NBA. Okay, yeah, that you can put that in if you win a championship, but that's more credit to Kobe again for being a great leader. Now, this greatest NBA coach of all time, Phil Jackson, is the biggest credit I would give when you talk about them playing for the organization. Phil Jackson was already established after the Bulls. Him and Tex Winter basically designed an offense that was suitable for Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant never won a championship without Phil Jackson. That's a better point to make. Who he never won a championship without Phil Jackson or Shaquille O'Neal. That's a better point to make. Basically saying Phil Jackson elevated Kobe's career, not Shaquille O'Neal. But unfortunately, Phil Jackson is not a player; he's a coach. So you can't really use that. Same way Mike didn't win without Phil Jackson, but y'all don't say that. Mike needed Phil Jackson the same way Kobe needed Phil Jackson. He did. No matter how spectacular of an individual talent Mike was, right? No matter how spectacular of an individual talent Michael Jordan was, he was getting beat by the same team over and over. And he didn't know how to actually be a leader, and he didn't know how to actually play the game. He was just more physically talented and gifted than everybody, and had a huge, strong desire to win. Right? But again, more hypocrisy. As y'all come here, smash that like button. Let's switch. All right, hope that y'all still with me, man. Y'all stay. I hope that y'all enjoying this video. Hit the like button as y'all come in here, hit the share, subscribe, hit all that good stuff, man. We're gonna continuously go on. So we went through 2 different reasons right now. It's the field goal percentage, and we got the organization of why Kobe Bryant cannot be in the top. Not only 5, but it seemed like he's even scratching to be in the top 10. And you guys know how I feel about this. Like I said, I think much of this is more so personal than it is about basketball. Nitpicking, pettiness, a lot of stuff I think, goes into this. This is the one that people don't talk about as much. Well, I'm going to talk about it. Y'all see Kobe Bryant right there in the suit walking out of a courthouse in 2003. You guys remember the infamous rape allegation case where Kobe Bryant was accused of rape. Was he 24? 25 years old? One of the two. He was accused of rape of a 18-year-old white lady in Eagle, Colorado, where the allegations that he forced her to have sexual encounters with him. Of course, Bryant denied the allegation, said that was consensual. And it came out he was acquitted. and he came out. He was, the case was dropped. But just because the case was dropped and he wasn't cost his freedom, doesn't mean his life was all good. As a matter of fact, it took a turn for the worse. Before the incident, Kobe Bryant was looked at again as the heir apparent to Jordan, or the guy next. Like I've said before, and I'm gonna keep saying it, Kobe was the only person being compared to Mike, and when he won his 5th championship, it was a discussion between him and Mike. So all these people that come jumping in out of nowhere that was in front of him is just all cap to me. But we'll get to that. After the case happened in 2004 and it was dropped, you saw Kobe Bryant's image go all the way down. Shout out to my boy Monty for saying that LeBron James was hated more than Kobe Bryant. Love you, Monty, but that's not true. Because Kobe Bryant was hated for stuff that was off the court. And it was stuff that this is something he could have controlled, but I've said it before, how he spoke, where he lives, how he grew up, who he chose to, like a lot of stuff that he really was just living his life. He was basically hated for. He's a ball hog, he's selfish, arrogant, all this stuff, right? This right here took a turn, and it really did. And again, this is in the reasons why he can't be in the top 10. I'm just putting out stuff that's in this article. His image had went down where they didn't want to promote Kobe Bryant no more. They took his endorsements away. Sprite, McDonald's, Nike. They took his endorsements away because the case was so detrimental. They didn't want to touch it. It's kind of like similar to the whole Kyrie Irving thing, where Nike dropped him because they felt like the anti-Semitic comments, even though he just posted a video. His image as the Black Mamba, he turned into the Black Mamba after this. He changed his number from 8 to 24 in 2006, I believe, or 2007, 1 to 2. And he basically he embraced being the villain. And this goes into people's reasons of not putting him over guys who are quote unquote more marketable, like LeBron James. They tried to put LeBron James and Kobe Bryant in the same, level. Even before LeBron won his first championship, this man had already won 3 titles and was already looked at as being the best player in the 2000s with Tim Duncan and Shaq. But here comes this kid, LeBron, who didn't win a championship for like 9 seasons. For 10 years, I'm sorry, or 10 seasons. And it took him going to another team to do it. He couldn't even do it in his own home team. And creating a super team. So that incident that happened factored into a lot of people's minds of, putting Kobe Bryant in that company. Or putting the niche that, he wasn't the top. He wasn't this, he wasn't that. I'm like, when did LeBron James and Kobe Bryant become a discussion, bro? Like, this dude ain't been proven yet. And when they tried to do it, Kobe won 2 back-to-back championships with the Lakers. So I really didn't understand why they still kept trying to make an argument there. But again, it's the media doing this shit. It's not even the players that's doing it. The players know deep down who's who. It's the media doing this. But I digress from that. So I got two more right here. NBA Finals performances. Now, quiet is kept. I kind of understand what they're trying to say here, but I still think it's nonsense. I'll say it again. I've said it once and I'll say it again. The first 3 championships they won by design, not by ability. They allowed Shaquille O'Neal to be the number 1 option in that first finals, or in the first 3 finals. Phil Jackson and team did a great job of making sure Shaquille O'Neal was the front line. in those situations because he had the favorable matchup that's coaching. And people could not beat the Lakers for those 3 years. That was dominant. Again, do y'all realize that's the last back-to-back championships that we've seen with the 2000-2001 Lakers? We have not seen no one go back-to-back-to-back. There's only been 2 people in the modern day era that's went back-to-back-to-back 3 times. That's Jordan and Kobe. And Shaq and Pippen. That's it. The 90s Bulls did it twice. And the 2000 Lakers did it once and was on verge of doing it 3 times or doing it twice if 2011 didn't happen. Or if 2008, even if you had, Trevor Reeves and Andrew Bottom playing in that finals against the Celtics, they would have had a chance to beat them. They would have had a chance. But back to my point, the finals, the first 3 years really was by design to push Shaq. But if you look at the rounds before that, against the Spurs, against the Kings, against the Blazers, against those other teams, when Shaq was there, it was Kobe Bryant going off, especially in 2001-2002 playoffs. It was him going off. But where's that criteria? Why is it just on one round? Why is it just about the finals? You got to get to the finals there. You got to get to the finals first. There's more rounds in the playoffs than they are in the NBA finals. So why doesn't that get factored in? You know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and play this video of Kobe speaking about something that they did to really try to implement Shaq as the number one guy. So here.
Office goes, hey, we're starting to lose the big fella. What do you mean? Well, he's not getting the attention. This 40-point streak is starting to kind of take away his fire to prove something, right? So I need you to start dialing it back. I'm like, what? He says, we're going to lose him, and we need him in June. Okay. All right. You have a game against the Clippers. I think I like 38 or something like that. And I had a chance to score 40 again. It was a blowout game. I dumped the ball in the Shaq instead of shooting a wide open shot. The 40-point streak ended that night.
Wow.
That was it. And that's inside stuff that people don't know.
Right. And you tell me you went to Phil's office and said, are you happy now?
Yeah. Because Phil was like, hey, we got to dial it back. We're starting to lose the big fella.
Perfect Kobe, too. He's like, you got to dial it back. You're like, all right, I'll score 38 instead of 40.
Well, I mean, this is a streak thing. It would have been 10 in a row. I would have broke a record.
Right.
I would have broke the record. But instead,
So that goes into my next and final point of what the reason why Kobe cannot be in the top 10 or top 5 or the top 10, scratching in. And that's his ability, or that's because of his reason of playing with Shaquille O'Neal. What y'all just heard was Kobe Bryant on a podcast, and I think that was Alex Rodriguez, who's a Hall of Fame baseball player, right? As I come in here and smash that like button, we got one more instance to make. Kobe was explaining that, and when I first heard it, I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. There's this idea that Shaq could do this, Shaq could do that, Shaq was all this, Shaq was all that. But as stories and things keep coming up and popping up, and as history continued, with Kobe winning championships without Shaq, people's minds had to kind of be rewired, and they had to be basically, retaught. If Kobe never broke up with Shaq, you could look at it 2 ways. Yeah, they could have won more championships, but also Kobe wouldn't got the credit he deserves. Well, actually, I take that back because Kobe was already, the last 2 years they were together, really, Kobe led the team in scoring anyway. It was becoming his team. He was younger. Shaq was getting older, out of shape. Like, it would have been a matter of time where Kobe Bryant would have basically, de facto been a number one option. But even then, the people who have just a certain level of IQ would still put Shaq, you say, oh, it was Shaq's team. if you look at the numbers and you look at the situation, the moments, if you're actually there, Kobe was already being the best player on the team the last 2 years of that tenure together. That's why when Shaq went to Miami, he literally just dropped as a very, very good player. He became the Pau Gasol to Dwayne Wade, put it like that he was to Kobe. But Kobe had to basically hold his game back so Shaq can do what he does, which goes against the point that he's so selfish, which goes to the point where he didn't care about, winning. There was a lot of things Kobe Bryant could have did that he had restraints against that don't get talked about. If you give Kobe Bryant the offense and let him do what he wants to do, his points go up, his records go up, all that stuff goes up. Which at number 4 scoring is still pretty damn good all time. But he had to play through the triangle offense to save his legacy, his career, and win championships. I think he would rather have that than to have, all these awards and all this stuff. That's what I personally think. But people really go into this whole he had Shaq on his team. That's the only reason why he got what he got. Which I've already debunked that. If y'all didn't see it, go watch my video on how Shaq needed Kobe more than Kobe needed Shaq. If Kobe needed, why couldn't Shaq win without Kobe his first 7-8 seasons before he came who he was? And why did he only win one time without Kobe when he left? A player that dominant shit, he should have been like Kareem. He should have been, and I'm not saying Shaq ain't a top borderline 10 player of all time, but when you look at the accolades, when you look at the awards, when you look at everything in totality, what I posted earlier in this video, Shaq doesn't win anywhere. He doesn't win anywhere. He had a great peak for a 3-4 year span. He was very good before that peak in 1992 to 99. He was very good, very solid, actually extremely good. But he had a peak from 99 to 2003 or 2002 where he was just, a brute force. But unfortunately, he didn't have a long enough tenure where his light didn't shine bright enough. But where does he win? When you got people like this, Brian Scalabrine saying Kobe Bryant isn't a top 10 player, and he says take a guy like Allen Iverson and put him with Shaquille O'Neal during Shaq's prime years. Well, that's the problem. Shaq didn't have a long prime because he couldn't stay in shape. His prime really was his peak, I'm going to say his peak was for 4 seasons. And in them 3 to 4 seasons, they went back to back to back. That was his peak. They did as good as anybody can ask for. You went to back to back to back finals. That's what he did with Kobe. So what is he talking about? With Allen Iverson, he would have done this. I mean, Kobe, they did what they were supposed to. They won. So a guy who shot 42% from the field, who was undersized, who was a one-sided player, was going to somehow do something that a two-way player could, play on both ends, who shot better from the field, who complimented Shaq really better than anybody could have. See, that's another problem too. Because of the attention Kobe got, this was a 1-2 punch. Allen Iverson, he was a great scorer, but he was not going to fit with Shaquille O'Neal. He couldn't fit with him. He's a volume shooter. He needed his own team. Allen Iverson was in a perfect situation with Philadelphia. He had a bunch of dogs around him to protect him and allow him to do all the scoring. That was Allen Iverson's. He couldn't fit with Shaquille O'Neal. He couldn't fit with Shaquille O'Neal better than any small, great, undersized player. Oh, LeBron James could have won 5, 6, 7 titles. You want me to play the video again? That LeBron James promised he can win 5, 6, 7 titles with Miami, and he came out with 2. You want to play that video again? Because I can do it. You know what? Here we go.
But we also know you 3 kings came down here to win championships. Not 1, championships.
Not 2.
LeBron, tell us about that.
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7. Hey, and when I say that, I really believe it.
Brother, that's why I clown on y'all and I get on. Y'all are easy work, man. I put back what y'all say right back in y'all face. I really do, and I enjoy every minute of it. That's all I do. If you pay attention to my style, bro, what I will do, I will not sit up there and try to argue you down. I will just simply pull the clip. I will pull the files. I will pull whatever needs to be pulled to put it back on you. That's what I like to do. So that way, because again, when you deal with, especially them, and I mean them, LeBron James fans, they will do every and anything to basically erase accountability. Right? That's what they'll do. So you have to put back what they say in their own face. But Brian Scalabrine, just shut the hell up. This is why people are never going to get it, because these are the ones that are on the big screen talking. He's a Celtic fan anyway, so I mean, you know what that is about. But Allen Iverson, brother, you could have said anything but AI. I love AI to death. That was one of my favorite players with Kobe in the 2000s, but he would not fit with Shaquille O'Neal at all. Stated that Kobe is not a top 10 player due to the support he had from Shaq in the early stage of his career. Well, what about Kareem's support to Magic Johnson, his 5 championships? Huh? See, people need to stop saying Shaq so much and say Phil Jackson, because that's the real person who helped Kobe Bryant. He won all his championships with Phil Jackson, but guess what? Phil Jackson also won all his championships with Michael Jordan, which people don't talk about enough. All it is, Michael Jordan won 6 rings. Motherfucker, he won 6 rings with a coach. Really, 2 coaches, him and Tex Winter, that designed an offense like Kobe at the same position that brought the best out of him. Made him more efficient, made him less turnover prone, made him understand the game at a higher level, think of it being a thinking game more than a physical game. He did the same thing. He took the system from the teacher to the prodigy. That's all he did. That's all Tex Winter did. Stephen A. Smith also coming out here talking this nonsense. Stephen A. Smith, reason for snubbing Kobe Bryant from his top 5 list. He said on his list, Smith included Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Russell, and finally Magic Johnson instead of Kobe. Smith knew it was controversial and he decided to explain it right away. I'm not going to go and tell y'all basically and open that nonsense, but what I'm going to say, his reasoning just came from simply the fact that Kobe and Mike played the same position and Mike's the greatest player of all time. That's how much I'm going to leave it at a nutshell. But the only problem is with that, Mr. Smith, is You got two bigs in there. You got Kareem and Bill Russell in there. They play the same position. So is it about the position or is it about Michael Jordan? And he's saying because he somehow copied Michael Jordan's style. I'm like, bro, how many rings did y'all got stored away? Did he do what he was supposed to do and get accomplishments from doing that or not? Yes, he took Michael Jordan's, how he talked, how he walked, how he stuck his tongue out, blase. But quiet is kept. There's a lot of stuff Kobe did different from Jordan. He had his own style. He just put Michael Jordan as a blueprint, but he had his own style too. So I'm not so sure with all this nonsense about that Kobe just basically, you have to use that against him because he just did it better than anybody else. Everybody wanted to be like Mike. They had a commercial of it. I wanna be like Mike. Sometimes I dream that he is me. Y'all remember that shit? They had a commercial on it. Everybody wanted to be like Mike. Stephen A. Smith, I'm sure you wanted to be like Mike. Everyone wanted to be like Mike. So because he did it better than anybody else, he gets edged out of the GOAT debate topics for players who are not individually better than him. Magic Johnson, I've already made the video. These reasons are becoming ridiculous, bro. Also, one more nugget I want to put out before I leave, because I don't think enough people are, really speaking upon it. A couple, images I want to put up there. Kobe and LBJ field goal percentage when they guarded each other. Since y'all want to talk about field goal percentage, when guarded by Kobe Bryant, LeBron James's field goal percentage was 27% against him and 52% for Kobe. Now, this is probably before Kobe Bryant had his Achilles injury. So I know people are going to come in and see, that's old, BJ. Yeah, you're right. But 52 to 27%, there was a number of games that were played. And people want to use this whole, well, Kobe was 16-6 against LeBron James in the regular season. I keep telling y'all, stop using that regular season nonsense. Stop using it. Because the playoffs are when it's an even situation, because Kobe and LeBron never faced it. See, that's why I wish they played against each other in the finals in 2009, 2010, but LeBron couldn't get there because he kept losing to the same teams Kobe kept beating. He beat the Spurs. Kobe Bryant beat the Spurs in 2008 when LeBron lost to them in the finals in 2007, got swept. And it wasn't because Cleveland was so bad, because each one of them games were very close. Go and check. LeBron James was losing to the same teams that Kobe was beating. The finals in 2009, LeBron loses to the Orlando Magic in 6 games to Kobe Bryant winning and beating them in 5 games. Cleveland was number 1 that year in 2009. So you couldn't say, oh, that Orlando was just so much of a better team. You had a better record. You're the number 1 seed in the East. You were expected to win that series and go to the finals. They had puppets being made of Kobe and LeBron James because they were supposed to meet up. You said that you were the best player in the NBA. That's what they kept rivaling, you and Kobe. But you just couldn't finish the deal. Then you go into the famous 2010 finals where the Lakers beat the Celtics and LeBron James lost to the Celtics to the point where they beat him to the point he took his jersey off and left Cleveland and went to Miami. That's 3 straight instances with the same teams LeBron faced against Kobe. Kobe beats 3 in a row. 3 years in a row. Oh yeah, by the way, and shout out to my man who is Hendo for this too, man. Y'all know the leading scorer of the 2010 Eastern Conference Finals when Cleveland faced Boston. Y'all know the person who led the team in scoring for Boston. It wasn't Paul Pierce, it wasn't Kevin Garnett, and it wasn't Ray Allen. The big three, quote unquote. It was fucking Rajon Rondo, who's averaged 18 points and 11 assists. A pass-first point guard led the Boston Celtics in scoring against LeBron James and the Cavs. And you couldn't beat that. I don't know if we have ever had a guy ranked top 5 with only one MVP. Shannon Sharp on why Kobe Bryant is a top 5 player of all time. Well, I don't know if we ever had a guy who's lost more than he won in the finals in the top 10. But you have your guy, LeBron, in the top 2. See, anybody can make their own criteria, but as long as you be consistent, I'm cool with it. One MVP. Who says that? How is that even looked at as a point? Y'all just come up with anything and hope it sticks. And then Shaquille O'Neal responds, yeah, okay, Shannon. Because he had that same one MVP. Basically calling you an idiot and stick to football. The more narratives that come out, the more I'm knocking them down. Shout out to my man Who Is Hendo. Shout out to my man Bookie Allen. Shout out to my man Oh What Up Cuz 23, man. We on y'all heads, bro, on this Kobe Bryant week, man. Celebrating 8/24. We're gonna be on y'all till Saturday. Hope that y'all enjoyed this video. Pull up a seat, pull up a chair, pull up. Peace. Out of here like swim web.
like that.